Okay, we're back. We have our setup, and for one, I want to take off this static here, because I don't think we need that. And actually, does this need to be a buff read? Oh, because we're using lines. One thing we might do is not have this be a buff read, but have this be a read trait, and we'll wrap our own buff around it if we actually want that to be a buff reader. That might be a better thing to do. Or not. I think we talked about this in one of the previous videos, that whether or not if this is what we want, do we force the caller to provide a buff reader? And I think we actually ended up saying that yes, we want this. So perhaps ignore that last thing that I said. But let me pull this off and see what happens when the compiler does not have those be static. So far, all our tests are passing. So right now we only have statics for the handler, which is good. So that's probably where we want to land. So let's now look at the handler, and let me write a version of this that has a lifetime requirement. So if we have a handler, let's do this. Custom quit handler is going to be it's not quite the version of this, because this is, the handlers are really supposed to take a W. Where's our handler? Here we go. A mute W, where W's. Yeah, so right now we're still forcing that to be static. Here's what, yeah. So this should be a mute. Well, we don't even need to declare what that is. There we go. Gonna return command result. Stud out. Yeah, it's wanting the type. That's only because we haven't done this here. So this custom quit handler, again, I should have done this before. Command results private. Ooh, we found a bug. Command result here. No. Why does it say it's private? Enum command result is private. The handler, the enum command result is defined here in handlers. Yeah, so this has to be is it only because we're re-exporting it? Oh, it's because we're pointing directly to Rusty command handlers, and it's really here. So command here, if we take this off and let our editor find it, this is, let's qualify the whole thing. That's what we want. And the only reason why we have this is because this is using it, but not re-exporting as a pub. So look into that. I'm going to make that be an exercise for the reader. Very long version of this, but break. Yeah. There we go. So this is complaining that it wants a type annotation because it doesn't know what it should be because it's a function. So what do we do? This is an impl of a right. Can we do that? Impl traits only allowed in function and inherit method arguments in return type, not in closure parameters. Oh, that's sad. So, what do we do here? I mean, oh, actually, this was what was it? An at mute of an impl, right? Yeah, but we still can't do this. We have to define a specific one. In this case, vec u8s. I don't like that. This closure not fulfill the lifetime requirements. So this wants it to be static, right? Lifetime is introduced here as static, and why this is not static, I'm not entirely sure. But you can see that, we're starting to run into our lifetime issues here. So I actually thought that I would need to do something different. And I'm curious if we have a test in command for this. Do we generate a handler that is a function? If not, we should. Flash error, read. So we're testing everything but a function handler, which I thought we had done that before, and not had some of these things in play. But you can see where we're starting to hit some limitations of a lifetime being static and a function here which should be static, but for some reason it's not. Maybe we'll get into that, but I also don't like that I have to define a specific type here in a closure. That should have been able to be pulled out, but I think that's going to be here in, add command fn. Maybe this is the problem. I just didn't read the documentation. We still have the issues, but that might get rid of this. No, it doesn't. Type must be known because it's a generic here. And we haven't defined that generic yet. Mute W, which is up here. The W is defined here. Should be doable, but let's put this back like that. No, it's a at mute of that. We're adding command function. Okay. So we have an issue here. And let's just close this video down and perhaps deal with this in the next one. I'm going to spend a little bit of time getting my act together so that you're not watching me fumble around, but sometimes it's nice to fumble around because somebody using your API for the first time is likely going to do that as well. Just seeing if there's a test for that. Yeah. So right now there's only a test in my version. So there should be a test for add command fn somewhere. That's not in the examples. Oh, this one does. Oh, it's because we're defining it in line. Let's actually do that. Sorry, I should have done this here. So if we can pull this in here, pull these out now, and clean that up, get rid of this. Yes, okay. So we're sort of back to where we were before, but it's actually quite reasonable for somebody to define that externally. But the issue is still going to be in play with respect to a static lifetime that we don't need. So I think the next video we're really going to get into the meat of that.